All right, so I've been busy. Last thing I said I was going to do was move this pass-through siding, and that allowed me to fit this 42-inch radius 027 profile loop through here, and that goes around back. I did run out of track. I need 2 more pieces of 42-inch 027, which is not the easiest to find, but I actually know where to get some. So that's that. I thought I apparently have a full loop of it, and by adding this, I short 2 pieces. So let's see. Before I get to that, this is my Glenn Snyder rail system, Glenn Snyder display systems. That's going to be my nice wall of trains. I usually just put locomotives up there, and I also have a couple up here, up on the ceiling there. Actually, I usually put passenger cars up, but now that I can reach every one of them, maybe I'll use it as locomotive storage. All right, so changes since yesterday is the yard no longer goes all the way down into that down here, because I forgot that these aren't sidings. Well, they are sidings, but they're not. This is more of a yard for locomotive storage, so I could fit 3 locomotives. I've got 2 of these locomotive sheds. This guy on the end here is from Menards. Nothing's actually wired up right now, but that actually has some lights inside, and I added lights to this guy here, which I picked up a couple trains. I picked that up at the First Frost or the Spring Thaw. Can't remember what it's called. Here's all my, I found a box with all of my trees in it, so I've got a little forest here. And then I added a couple girder bridges to here. Not sure if I'm going to do something to make that look a little more, I don't know. Nothing here is final. This is me just unboxing and getting everything out on the layout. This is a fueling station from MTH. It lights up. That should be sticking up, and I gotta look into the box. I'm missing one of the lamps on it. Okay, what else? So the yard's the same. All right, the main unboxing was my town. So I still have about 4, 5, or 6 what I'll describe as country buildings or suburban houses, that type of thing. And now that I have sort of a town square, like a city blocks concept, I don't know that. I think I'm going to sell that stuff off, because I never envisioned myself having that unless I jam everything for the city blocks in here and then have a country area in the back, but I don't really care for that. It's interesting because, so I've got 2 of these hardware stores, and one of them I converted to Bob's Burgers. These 2, this Market and Kitty City Toys, these are new. I just picked these up. By new, I mean at a train show for 20 bucks. I had the end units, hardware stores, Al's Hardware, so I got a competing hardware there. And then these 4 row homes are new additions. I could use another, sorry for the shakiness, I'm reaching out over the platform. Those are new additions. And then in the 3rd row, you've got Neil's Music, the police station, and a tall rise. I don't know what that is. Looks like a guitar. I don't know, club, house. I'd say 80% of these are MTH with a sprinkling of Lionel's. Now that I have a square essentially a square layout, I have the room. And it's funny how what I thought was a ton of buildings, and I actually started refraining from buying buildings because I thought I was going to have a smaller layout, but this layout is so much more efficient as far as use of space. It's a little more boring. There's boring meaning straight city blocks. Before I only had room for two long blocks. I like it so far. I feel like I can add, I'd like to consolidate, like this will probably be a road down the middle. There'll be crossing roads and streets, I should say. I'd like to pick up more of these row homes. I mean, it'd be cool to have an entire row of those, and then I could bring Al's Hardware and Bob's Burgers into the front row, have like a housing area thing, you know, and then it kind of gets hairy as far as what I do in the back. So I have this is a Menards. I'll have a video with it lit up. I'm sure you know what that looks like. It looks like a disco club. There's the power plant. And then I've got, these are the only two, what I'll describe as country buildings that I'm gonna hang on to. One of them's the West Virginia Pulp Company. And that, the one to the left of it is, I think that's just a kit somebody made. I got for a few bucks. I got a couple, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this section here yet. It's wide open. But I feel it's a lot more consistent, you know, power plant right in the town square. It is sort of like Springfield on The Simpsons. Maybe when I do the background, I'll do the, you know, I'll do Springfield. And I know this doesn't make any sense at all, but I've got my Bethlehem girder bridge, Lackawanna girder bridge, and Lionel. I just threw them there because it seemed to make sense. I don't know. Like I said, I was just throwing things out. I've got two of these switch towers. One's they're both, this one's a Pennsylvania Railroad, but a Pittsburgh location, so that's got to go. And then I've got the other one over there by the yard. These guys are new additions, these switches. I picked these up at Ye Old Train Shop. I guess they're a Boyertown address, but they've got a bunch of barns with new and used stuff, bunch of sheds. But I was able to pick these up in the used section, and they don't look very used to me. They look pretty nice. And I had to take tape off of them, so I think they're new. So then what I don't have out is all my vehicles and operating accessories. I happened to grab a box that had these three in here, and I'm sort of not sure how I'm going to handle this, but this might be a great place for all the operating accessories. Have like a dirt road in the middle, saw mill on one side, or I've got a lumber, what do you call it, the barrel loader. I've got enough to fill both these sections. So I'm thinking for ease of access, this might be the place to go. My other idea, and I think I mentioned this, was where this box is, I'm actually putting up a IKEA shelf here that's like 4 cubes. I was thinking about continuing off, have 2 sidings off the main line, because right now the main line has no sidings, because I was going to do the 2 here on top of that IKEA shelf. And I think I'll still do that. But I had the idea to do 1 or 2 sidings, make it a little deeper, and then make this area my operating accessories. You get real close to them, deal with all the issues, because that's pretty much all you have with operating accessories. But now that I'm sort of getting a lay of the land, I'm thinking this should be the area for that right here. Maybe the diner gets moved back by the power plant. Put the hardware stores next to each other so that they can have a price war, and maybe I cross out Railtown Hardware and make it, you know, I could use another restaurant, maybe make it a Mexican restaurant. Railtown tortilla shop. So I've got this pretty wide area here between the town and the second main line. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I could put it, just extend this, let's call it the trolley loop. I could extend that out another 10 inches easily and have room. Nothing's bolted down. The only line that's got power is the main line. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this but then again, I also don't need the room in the middle either. The middle's really, I'm probably going to move this over because that'll give me a little better access to that switch, which is, it's kind of a hike to get to that. So, as I said with the town square, I'm getting a lot more space. Now with the old layout, I had so many weird angles and 45 degrees and just all these weird angles, and it basically was, I was packed with buildings. And believe me, I don't have that much more big stuff. I have some operating accessories. That's pretty much it. Everything's out. But on the other layout, it just felt so crowded. Here, actually kind of looks natural, green grass in a city. But this layout has, shockingly, 4 corners. But the corners I haven't thought what I'm going to do with yet. But they're bare. The one that, I've got the tree farm back there. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. Oh, one thing so in my closet here, I have this plywood bridge or elevated thingy. I'm thinking I'm going to put that up against the wall here. Yeah, that's going to fit nice. And then I could maybe put the power plant up top there or station up there. And then that could be where the elevated loop goes around. You hear me thinking in real time, so I don't blame you if you bailed by now. I also don't know what this area is going to be. It doesn't make sense to make this yard much bigger. Maybe I could pop a switch right there and have another little siding for an engine. But before, when I had 3 in here, it was plenty. But with the new layout, I'm glad I have less wasted space. It seems like the square layout, you get so much more use of your space. I've got a lot to do, but now that the building's right, you kind of get a feel for what it is and what it's going to be. I mean, I don't see the track plan changing very much, but the organization of the buildings, these probably won't change too much, but the front and back open sections are certainly going to grow and change. One thing I hate about these corners, any corner, is you can't really, unless somebody wants to tell me that there are 72-inch curved station platforms and things like that, yeah, maybe I'll 3D print one. That'd be kind of cool. It would look like, even that would, I'd probably have all these couplers bumping up against it, trucks crashing on it. It's probably not worth it. But coming up with things for these corners, I've got some towers and whatnot. Like I've got the MTH radar station. I've got a beacon tower. I usually put the beacon towers in the back. Yeah. So a lot of progress in a couple days. I'm pretty happy with it. It's good to be back. Let me know what you think. Give me some suggestions. Talk to you later.